Okay, shalom, shalom. As always, I want to start these videos by giving all glory, honor, and thanks to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son for this wisdom and knowledge. That is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha Rakal Quadash, as well as the double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, whom I learned this truth under, and a sincere shalom to the rest of the elders and Akim around the globe, bringing this word out within sincerity, truth, and diligence. I'm your brother Allah Yahweh, servants of Yahweh Yahweh Shai Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada. This is a quick hit. Trying to keep my voice a little down. It's about 2:30 in the morning, and then walls is thin, whatever. But this video being titled Judah x Manasseh, okay? And this is an interaction I had with this Jake. This Manasseh brother, Manasseh being the tribe of representing the Cubans, and he grew up in Cuba up until the age of 14 and moved to Miami back in 1980. And this Jake has served several decades behind bars on Babylon the Great soil as well, further pursuing to Isaiah the 42nd chapter, Isaiah 42 verse 22, our people are hid in prison houses. Let's get that. I was already in Isaiah 42 verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, and for a spoil, and none saith restore. Okay? And let's go to our 12 tribes chart, because this is an interaction we had. A so-called Negro being, I believe, being from the tribe of Judah, and this brother being a so-called Cuban, being from the tribe you see right here, Manasseh, okay? And these are all bywords, so-called black, a Haitian, a West Indian, a Mexican, a Native American Indian, a Puerto Rican, a Cuban. Those are bywords. We are really Yasharallah, the princes of the power, the children of Yahweh, Israel, okay? But we are in the last days are being known as bywords, and we related to each other because this guy, once again, being from Cuba and Miami, he said he was finna play some trick. I already knew, Judah being, Jacob being the former of all things, and Judah being very creative in music. That Trick was the rapper Trick Daddy, okay, the Miami rapper Trick Daddy, this guy right here. And just to further highlight the curses, who really the true children of Israel are, this is from his 2001 album titled Thugs Are Us. And that's, once again, nothing more but just a byword. Definition of thug: a man who acts violently, especially to commit a crime. And the synonyms: a goon, a hoodlum, a gangster, a henchman, okay, a mobster. All these are just bywords, especially affiliated, and thanks to the rapper Tupac, that thug life spirit associated with the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negroes. But that as well, the stigma, that word also gets placed on our people in the Northern Kingdom, so-called Mexicans, and on down. Further, continuing on, because the scripture spoke that we would be, in the last days in a fucked up state and in captivity, okay? And we related to each other through this Trick Daddy song, and I'll get the lyrics in a second. Genesis 49 at the top. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. And let's go down to Judah real quick. Once again, Judah being the so-called Negroes. Genesis 49 verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. So basically, Judah is the trendsetter of the 12 tribes of Israel right here, okay? And a prime example of that is Major League Baseball. Back in the day, I don't know why I just did that. Salagias. anyways, back in the day, you would have your Negro leagues before Major League Baseball. You had before integration, you would have your Negro leagues, and who was the spear that integrated baseball was a Judite, Jackie Robinson. Now you watch Major League Baseball today, you gonna see nothing but Simeonites, so-called Dominicans, and Manassites, so-called Cubans in Major League Baseball. It's flooded with Jake, Northern and Southern Kingdom, but predominantly Northern Kingdom. But who is the tip of the spear that set the trend for that? Was Judah, okay? And you see that in music as well. And once again, we were able to relate today through the oppression that we're currently living in Southern and Northern Kingdom, in this bondage, Egypt, this modern day Egypt meaning bondage, America meaning bitter, because Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, verse 68, the last verse said that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai would lead us into Egypt again, into bondage again, but by this time by way of ships. And we see that happen with several of the tribes here, right here, especially with the tribe of Judah. But we were able to relate to the oppression with this rapper Trick Daddy. So let's bring a quote that he said, and it's called America with a K, from this rapper Trick Daddy. And he said, and ever since you made president, we ain't even seen you since. You need to visit our schools, rebuild our churches and homes, stop killing my own kind, and leave my earth alone. And that's the bar that really, set up to me. Leave my earth alone. He don't say the earth alone, leave my earth alone, because I'm gonna get that precept. The earth was really made for our sakes right here, the 12 tribes. You look at Babylon the Great, America, it was run perfectly before the devil himself. Your colonizers came through and fucked everything up, took all the gold and silver out the water, mowed and chopped all the trees down, slaughtered all the buffaloes and animals. The North, Central, and South America was run pristinely in comparison to what it is now. Okay, but this shows you that the earth was built for our sakes, and that the current ruler, pursuant to Job 9 verse 24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked represent you so-called self-proclaimed WHITEs, Esau, Edom, Idumea. You have run the world into the ground and into pure wickedness, and further oppressing the true children of Israel. Let's continue on. Don't want to make this too long. Speaking on that oppression, that Northern and Southern Kingdom, which represent so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Negroes mainly being the Southern Kingdom, Hispanics and Native Americans mainly being the Northern Kingdom, are under currently. Jeremiah 50 verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Further showing you this is nothing more than modern day Egypt, because that's the same with ancient Egypt. The Pharaoh didn't want to let us go, and when he did and eventually have to let us go, Egypt ain't been shit since then. And you could say the same thing with modern day America. If you took all these tribes right here, and as well as the Israelite foreigners who don't look like the heathen nations, but bloodlines go back to these tribes you see right here, America wouldn't be shit without the 12 tribes of Israel. So of course they're not gonna want to let us go. We are the salt of the earth. We give this place flavor, and we are the slave class. We're the working class, keeping this wicked machine running. Continuing on, the oppression and curses that we are currently under. Let's get Deuteronomy 28. I'm gonna start at verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. The fruit of thy land And all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, you self-proclaimed WHITEs. And thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed alway, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Okay, and we getting oppressed the fuck out of in this current captivity. It's 24/7. It never stops. And once again, this Jake did like 30 years behind bars. This Manasseh brother, pursuant to Isaiah the 42nd chapter, verse 22, my people are hid in prison houses. Okay? Deuteronomy 28, verse 43, the stranger, once again, you so-called WHITEs, Idumea, Edom, Esau, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. So for our disobedience, the Lord once again led us into captivity, going also pursuing, as I mentioned earlier, by way of ships into bondage. Okay, and pursuant to Baruch, the 3rd chapter, Baruch 3 verse 8, we are yet this day in our captivity where we are subject to payments. Going back to this Trick Daddy song, he said, you need to visit our schools, rebuild our churches and homes, and stop killing my own kind, and leave my earth alone. And that shows you our schools is fucked up. We got the most fucked up schools. Our churches is bugged out and filled with idols and plantation Christianity. You know, that's why Esau's really scared, because the true men of the Lord are waking up, and he can't stop the prophecies. He can't stop the truth, and his shameful spewing, Salakia, is coming upon him. And he's really fearful of our people, even a remnant of our people waking up, but it's too late. Or we live in the worst neighborhoods filled with crime, and how does he kill us? He kills us by flooding our neighborhoods with division, drugs, and death music and death culture. And we live in some of the most polluted areas of the city, and leave my earth alone. America didn't look like how New York and Philly and some of these St. Louis does today before the colonizers got here. Okay, now it looks like a shithole. Esau's such a demon, he done even fucked up California. You go to Los Angeles in the Bay Area, it looks like straight hell. And even up to Portland and Seattle. That's because the wicked, going to Job 9 verse 24, are in rulership, but they finna get knocked out. We gonna see this man's fall, pursuant to Baruch the 4th chapter. Let's close off on these two scriptures. And Salakia, I really didn't want to make this as long as it is, but you know, the spirit got to come out on it ain't just so-called blacks catching hell out here. We got our Northern Kingdom Akim, our Northern Kingdom brothers catching straight hell here too. They need their rest too. 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, talking about you heathen nations, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? And you go to the map, down to Central and South America and the Caribbean, all these are extremely fertile and resource-rich areas. Why is there so much poverty and crime down here? Because you got the devil oppressing the fuck out of our people. And once again, going back to that term thug, A lot of Jakes don't have no options but to be thugs because they're growing up in impoverished areas, in these favelas in Brazil, in these barrios in Mexico, in these projects in Babylon the Great America, as well as what's the reservations that Gad is on, the so-called Native Americans. Okay, Esau's oppressed us and taken control of all the resources, and he's run the world in raggedy into the ground. But he's gonna get judged for that too. Let's close off on this because he's fucked up and destroyed the whole earth. When the righteous rulers, Jacob, the seed of Israel, have been suffering under this man's oppression. Revelation 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward, unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And who destroyed the earth under their watch and rulership? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed WHITEs. Meanwhile, our people had to sit and watch and live in the worst conditions known to man, okay, in the worst captivities. But this is just a temporal punishment for our disobedience. But even 2/3 of Jake, a worldly Jake, said, leave my earth alone, knowing that the earth through the spirit was built for them. But you got these demons, these Edomites, these Idumeans in rulership fucking everything up. But pretty soon, let's actually close off on that. This is going to be Baruch, close off, stay in the Apocrypha, Baruch, the 4th chapter, verse, right here, verse 24. Like as now, the neighbors of Zion, you heathen nations, pursuant to Psalms 83 and Lamentations, the 2nd chapter, shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. Okay, once again, just further relaying that so-called blacks, Negroes, and Hispanics are related, and we all catching some form of hell in some way. And one way we can relate to each other is through music. Another way we can relate is through women. That happens a lot. But I just hope this was edifying. Shalom.